Hello everyone, today I want to talk a little bit about the Netflix series that recently came out called American Primeval. Now, as a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I feel the need to kind of share my thoughts and concerns about the show's misrepresentations of the church, Brigham Young, and historical events like the Mountain Meadows Massacre. These portrayals aren't just inaccurate, they're harmful, perpetuating misconceptions about members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and our beliefs. Now let's break down some of the inaccuracies and clarify the truth a little bit. One of the most concerning parts of American Primeval is the depiction of Brigham Young. In the series, he's portrayed as a villainous, crazy, violent fanatic, a far cry from the reality of who he actually was. Was he perfect? No, but nobody's perfect. Brigham Young was a prophet of God and president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and governor of the Utah Territory, who displayed remarkable leadership and compassion during one of the most challenging periods in the church's history. He led tens of thousands of members of the church across the plains to the Salt Lake Valley, a treacherous and dangerous journey marked by sacrifice, courage, and faith. His focus was on building a community where people could live in peace and worship freely, not on perpetrating violence or oppressing others. Far from being fanatical, his policies emphasized unity, resourcefulness, and education. He also demonstrated forgiveness and matter-of-factness, even when the church faced hostility and accusations. Reducing this complex leader to a caricature is a disservice to history and to viewers seeking an accurate portrayal. Now, the series also misrepresents members of the church, portraying them as overly rigid, authoritarian, or complicit in violence. Now, this reinforces harmful stereotypes and ignores the reality of their lived experiences. The early saints faced immense persecution. They were driven from their homes in Missouri and Illinois, facing violence, loss of property, and even death. In Missouri, Governor Boggs signed an extermination order, making it legal to kill, you heard that right, to kill members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints simply because they were members of the church. And the order was in effect clear until 1976. The exodus to Utah was a monumental act of faith and resilience. These were people who believed in Christ, sacrificed for their families, and worked tirelessly to build a better life. Were there imperfections among them? Of course. No group of people, be it religious or any other group, is without fault. But it is unjust to portray an entire faith community in such a negative and one-dimensional way. At the time, Utah was under extreme pressure due to rumors of rebellion against the federal government, the murder of Apostle Parley P. Pratt, and the oncoming federal army. These factors created a lot of fear and hostility, which contributed to the terrible decisions made by local leaders. Brigham Young's instructions to not meddle with the emigrant company were clear. This tragedy occurred only because his directive arrived too late. Also, the church has been open about this dark chapter, acknowledging it and working to promote healing and understanding. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has made massive efforts to come to terms with the Mountain Meadows Massacre and ensure the tragedy is remembered in the right way. In 1990, descendants of the Arkansas immigrants joined with representatives of the Paiute Nation, members of the church in southern Utah, and church leaders to dedicate a memorial at Mountain Meadows. On the 150th anniversary of the massacre, President Henry B. Eyring emphasized the importance of forgiveness and reiterated that such an atrocity was a profound departure from the teachings of the gospel of Jesus Christ. He said,
"The gospel of Jesus Christ that we espouse abhors the cold-blooded killing of men, women, and children. Indeed, it advocates peace and forgiveness. What was done here long ago by members of our church represents a terrible and inexcusable departure from Christian teaching and conduct."
The church has made its archives on the massacre open to scrutiny and collaborated with scholars to create a more complete and accurate account. Books like Massacre at Mountain Meadows by Ronald W. Walker, Richard E. Turley Jr., and Glenn M. Leonard reflect years of diligent research to ensure that this tragedy is not misrepresented or forgotten. These efforts reflect the church's commitment to transparency, truth, and healing. Historical fiction like American Primeval takes creative liberties, but those liberties come with responsibility. While it might aim to entertain, distorting the past undermines real understanding. The actions of individuals during difficult periods should be seen in context, not through the lens of sensationalism. Yes, Brigham Young's rhetoric could be fiery, reflecting the intensity of the times, but fiery sermons weren't unique to him. Such preaching was common across many faith traditions during the 19th century. Suggesting that these sermons alone incited violence is not only historically inaccurate, but also a gross oversimplification. Additionally, American Primeval ignores the tremendous positive contributions made by Brigham Young and the early saints. From irrigation projects and settlements to establishing universities and advocating for women's suffrage, The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints' impact on the West was profound and very forward-thinking. Unfortunately, American Primeval isn't the first piece of media to misrepresent the church. Popular culture often falls into the trap of depicting members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints through a lens of prejudice or oversimplification. These portrayals reinforce outdated stereotypes and fail to acknowledge the church's commitment to Christian principles of love, service, and forgiveness. These inaccuracies matter because they shape how people perceive the church and its members. For viewers unfamiliar with the faith, American Primeval doesn't just entertain, it creates biases that can take years to dismantle. American Primeval could have been an opportunity to tell a nuanced story about 19th century America. Instead, it falls into the trap of sensationalizing the past and vilifying a faith community and its leaders. Brigham Young wasn't a perfect man, but he was a remarkable leader who loved and cared for the people he led. The Mountain Meadows Massacre was a tragedy, one the church has openly acknowledged and sought to learn from. The church's efforts to promote understanding, accountability, and healing contrast sharply with the one-dimensional portrayals in American Primeval. I encourage you to seek out accurate historical accounts and avoid relying solely on dramatized portrayals. Thank you for taking the time to listen. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment and I would love to continue this discussion. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic rest of your day.